Good day, everyone. We are live once again. So, this moment, we're going to be talking about the power of little beginnings. Yes, you know, every great person, every great enterprise, every great business that we see began small. Yeah, they began small. The likes of Brian Tracy, the likes of Zig Ziglar, when it comes to tech, for the likes of the founders of Google and all of these great people. Yeah, they began small. They began somewhere. They didn't begin at the pace at which they are begin at the pace at which they are running now. No, that's not how they started. You get it. That's not how they started. They didn't start big. They started small, right? Started small. And what we learn from their stories is that there is a great empire in everything that you start that is small. Yeah, it is a great empire. It can be likened to the seed in a fruit, the seed in a fruit that um contains another tree, and that tree has fruits, and in those fruits there are seeds, and so it can be said that if you can get one seed, there's a forest inside one tree, inside one seed. Sorry, yes, there's a forest. So it is okay to say that there's a forest inside every seed. Yeah, there's a forest. That's just how it is with life, you know. Sometimes you get an idea of starting a business, you get an idea about going to school, you get an idea about going to, learn a skill, and you think, doubt yourself, will this thing happen? Will I be able to scale to a higher level? Will I become great by engaging in this venture? You begin to ask yourself a lot of questions, and these questions sometimes, if you are not careful, can discourage you, make you look down on yourself, and which is not supposed to be so. Rather, what it is that we should focus on is to believe in ourselves. Yes, to take action. Has been said that the difference between the successful and the unsuccessful is action. Yes, that's one of the things that differentiates one of the things that differentiates successful, happy, financially free people from unsuccessful, sad people, is the fact that successful people are people of action. Yes, they are people of strategic action. They calculate whatever it is that they have decided to embark upon. They put together ideas, strategies about how they're gonna execute those ventures, and then they determine to give themselves to the strategies and the procedures and the processes that are needed to that need to be gone through in order for those ventures, those goals that they have, those ideas that they have in their minds to become fruitful. And that is so amazing. That is so amazing. Yeah, so little beginnings. Thank you. Little beginnings are very powerful. Little beginnings are so powerful. And we as human beings should never underrate the power of little beginnings. For everyone who has joined this live stream, I just want to take some time to say thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, so I have to thank you for joining this live session, and I know you will learn a lot that will change your life. So, as I was saying, that little beginnings are like the seed inside a fruit. Yes, because every seed in a fruit can produce a forest. But initially, when you look at the seed from at face value, when you are not able to look at the seed beyond its present state, you are not able to decipher and know that there, there, there's a forest inside this seed. This seed can produce a forest, and that is why every great person I've learned is a man of long-term perspective. Whatever they do, they look at it from a long-term perspective. They they view things from a long-term perspective. When they are taking a decision about entering a business, they look at the long-term consequences of the actions they're going to take. The consequences could be on their finances. The consequences could be on their relationships, their family, and a lot of things. And so you realize that little begin every great person, or every great business, or every great venture that we see in the world today. Name them: the likes of Google, the likes of Apple, the likes of Samsung, Techno, Nike, the likes of Adidas, the likes of Gucci, likes of, you can name them. All of those people started small. Yes, they started small, and they determined that they will not end small. Today we hear of them. Yes, we have iPhones, we have Infinix phones, we have Samsung phones, we have a lot of phones and laptops and new technology that is coming in each and every day or season or week. Yeah. So little beginnings are very powerful, as I said. I've already said, cannot be overemphasized. That little beginnings are powerful. When you start doing something, perhaps you start a YouTube channel, you start with one viewer, and it looks as if, oh, you are discouraged. You've seen people with 1 million subscribers and a lot of views, and the the benefits you are deriving from that, and you feel discouraged because you haven't reached that point. No, it shouldn't be so. Rather, you should you should you should uh, have a long-term perspective. You should look at things. You shouldn't just look at yourself at just now, the moment. You should look at yourself beyond now. Beyond now, you should look at yourself in the next, say, 5 years, and next, say, 10 years. This is how my life is going to be. My life is not going to be like this. I'm going to determine to learn things that I need to learn in order to be distinct in my field of discipline so that I can make an impact in my world. So, what are some of the things that we learn from little beginnings? Yes. What are some of the things that happen if we miss little beginnings? Please welcome everyone who has joined. You are welcome. I welcome you all. Please kindly type little beginnings. Just type little beginnings. If you're followed up to this point, just type little beginnings. Little be- Sorry, I went to mute for some time. Please kindly type little beginnings. Little beginnings. Little beginnings. In the chat, the live chat, just type little beginnings. Little beginnings in the chat. Just type little beginnings. Just type little beginnings. As I said, there are certain things that when you don't go through, when you don't start little, you can say that anything that does not have a process will soon fade away. Yes, every business that does not have a process will soon fade away. Every business, whatever it is, venture, whatever, name it, that does not have a process will soon fade away. What do I mean by that? For instance, where I am now, there is a something that is happening where young people can do a lot of things for money. You know, when we see a lot of people on social media, flaunting cars and money here and there, there's a crave among a lot of people, young people, for a lot of wealth. And because of that, many people end up doing a lot of things. Yes, they have decided to skip process. They have decided to skip process. And because of they have decided to skip process, they are gonna fade away in no time. In no time, they're going to fade away. Yes, my Bible attests to that fact. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're going to fade away. Yeah, anyone who starts something, you start something that anyone who starts something, let's say you have started, you cannot skip process in life. Yes, you cannot skip process in life. We see process everywhere we turn. Yes, when a little baby is given birth to, he or she goes through a process of growth. If he or she decides to skip that process of growth, then I don't know what that person will become, but it will become something else. Yeah, a different person entirely from a normal human being. You cannot skip process. You cannot skip process. If indeed you want to last, if indeed you want to have influence, continued influence, transgenerational influence, then you must be a person who learns. Yes, so I was saying earlier on, there are certain things that we are deprived of when we skip process. Yes, you see, for instance, as a young person, I'm giving an example now. You can see a wealthy person like Elon Musk, and there are different ways of making money. There are illegal means and there are also legal means. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for joining. Sorry that I had to attend to some things. So as I said earlier on, there are things that we are deprived of when we neglect process, when we neglect little beginnings, and we just want to go all out, we want to go big. Someone starts a YouTube channel today and he wants that in 2 days' time you have 1 million subscribers with over 4,000 watch hours. How is that going to happen? You haven't built a track record, you haven't delivered value, and you just want to succeed like that. It doesn't happen like that. The likes of Mr. Beast, the likes of I Show Speed, the likes of Kai Senat, the likes of Rakai, the likes of Jamal, all of these people, the streaming space and the YouTube in general, likes of Wodemaya from Ghana, likes of Kwaji Sheldon Studios from Ghana, likes of Scanty Explorers, all of these people have a track record. Yeah. And we as human beings, we are such that we only go for value. Yeah. Where we find value, that's where we will find human beings. So for instance, you find a restaurant. Restaurant delivers value in form of food, and that food satisfies the human being, satisfies us. That is why you find human beings going there. Yes. So if a particular restaurant stops serving value, although they serve food, but they don't serve um, excellent meals, you will not find people going there again because people are paying for the meals, and so the restaurants have to make sure that they put value on the table consistently, right? Yeah. So it's very very amazing. So some of the things that we 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 are not able to tap into when we miss process, when we neglect processes. Number one, there are things you learn when you start small. You have a goal to become big, whether in business, whether as a YouTuber. There are things you learn because you make mistakes. Yes, there are things you learn from certain actions that you take. For instance, as a YouTuber, you can take the action of you are posting videos, only videos. You don't post shorts, not realizing that um, most YouTubers actually use shorts to grow their channels. Yeah. So that's one of the things you learn. Personally, that's one of the things I've learned. That most of the people that subscribe to my channel, it was as a result of the shorts that I put out there, and yeah, they subscribe. So I just want to use this opportunity to thank you all for subscribing continually to my channel. I love you guys. I love you. And please stick around because I'll be delivering value, content, excellent content to you guys. Share with your friends, your family. Yeah. How much? sip some water. Yeah, if you have been join the discussion from now, I think you should take some water. Yeah, clear your throat. Wow, 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 wow. Can anyone tell me what water was made from? Anyone? Do you know where water was made from? I mean, how did water come into being? Just, I mean, it's so, you know, you know the answer. Just type it in the chat. Yeah. How or what was water made from? If you know. I mean, look at how it is. Just some liquid, you know. It's so yeah. Ah yeah. Wow. So refreshing. Yeah. So, I was saying, one of the things when we decide to jump process is we miss all the things we would have learned if we had gone through the path. Number two, so we miss the process of learning. We miss number two, experience. Because when you start more small and you are working towards becoming big, great, either in business, in YouTube, as a student, whatever it is, you realize that you gain experience. You're able to master your craft. You're able to master, if it is a skill, you're able to master how you move, you shift from this point to this point, and it's going to be massive. You can sell that literally as value to people. Some of books and they buy. That's what most artists have done. They have used their lives as a specimen. They have done research, they have applied the secrets, and so that they are able to write books. And we read. So that is it. Little beginnings are so powerful. I mean, very, very, very powerful. Because in little beginnings, we learn. We learn. If you start small as a businessman and then you walk through the path for some time, maybe months or years, and then you become a great business mogul or magnate, you realize that when you're going to start another business, the time it takes for you to build will be shorter. Right, so that's one of the powers of small beginnings. When you start small and you grow yourself, you develop yourself from small to big. When you are going to start another venture, or when you or when you're going to help someone build that same venture from this point to this point, you realize that it's going to be easy because you know the process. One of the things you should do when you end a certain season of your life is that you document the process. When you achieve a certain success, maybe as a student you have achieved success, you document that process of your life, then you send it out to people as value. Yeah, you can make YouTube videos about how to become excellent in your academics, and yeah, it's going to be great. So thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to come back live. We're going to be having laugh with me. Yes, I'm just going to be laughing. We're going to come back and we're just going to be laughing for, yeah, we're just going to be laughing throughout the stream. Okay, so African Slim 101, you're welcome. Thank you for this chat, this message. He said, yo, you know Siko? No, I don't know Siko. It's with Siko. It's with Siko and Jessica Adato. Oh, you said yeah that your message has been retracted. Please, please send your message again, please. I'm open to receive any message. Yes, be it a question or whatever it is. Please, African Slim, I'm waiting for your message. He said, yo, you know Siko. Please, who is Siko? I don't know Siko, please. But I would love to know. I would love to know who that person is. Please, who is Siko? Who is Siko? Oh. Once you dorkun aku, itu biasa saja. Bodoh boleh. Oh, ni change dah. Okay. Awal apa tu ya DJ kan? Ya nu na, ya nu. Ya nu. Yo. Sorry, chat. Sorry, I went off mute for some time. So I'm gonna end this stream. Then I'll come back. We're gonna do a stream. Laugh-a-thon. We're just gonna be laughing. Yeah, laugh-a-thon. I call it laugh-a-thon. So get ready to laugh. Yeah. I call it laugh-a-thon. Okay.